and welcome to all our viewers around the world to News Express on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson, and I'm the news in full. Special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is on top of domestic challenges in the country. While reacting to a recent comment by Atiku Abubakar, the People's Democratic Party's presidential candidate in the 2023 election, he said that the president's private trip to France did not interfere with official functions of the state, adding that the trip was announced to Nigerians. Ononuga added that results of the president's intervention in current situations in the country were already bearing fruit with the recent successes recorded in curbing kidnapping. He said that the president also approved 50 billion naira as a special fund to address some security challenges in the northeast, as well as funds for the acquisition of equipment to track criminals in the FCT. The federal government on Tuesday disclosed that Nigeria is currently off track concerning progress in achieving the Global Sustainable Development Goals sanitization target and is regrettably among those behind. It also stated that the country loses about $3 billion annually due to poor sanitation arising from the use of unsanitary or shared toilets or open defecation. The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Uswev, also disclosed this in Abuja at the National Workshop on Safety Managed Sanitization, however, stated that the government was working hard to tackle the identified concerns, outlining some of the priority areas to include food security, ending poverty, economic growth and job creation, as well as inclusivity. The federal government is partnering with the United Kingdom to establish a joint technical working group for the development of critical mineral deposits in the country. Dr. Dele Alake, Minister of Solid Minerals Development, announced a partnership in a statement by Special Assistant on Media Segun Tomori on Wednesday in Abuja. Recall that the partnership followed a meeting between Alake and the UK Deputy Prime Minister Oliver Dowden on the sidelines of the Mines and Money Conference in London in December 2023. A delegation of the British High Commission, led by Deputy High Commissioner Johnny Baxter, had also paid a visit to the Minister of Solid Minerals Development on Tuesday to fine-tune details of the collaboration. Alake said the partnership aims to culminate investments in the mining sector value chain. Still on the News Express, the House of Representatives Public Account Committee has slammed Nigerian Customs Service over the non-submission of audited financial statements for the 2016, 2017 and 2018 financial year to the Auditor General of the Federation. The Controller General of the Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeni, who appeared with his lieutenants, was questioned during the hearing of the committee chaired by Representatives Bamidele Salam over queries issued by the Auditor General to the Federation on the 2027 audited report. The Controller General responded to the queries that only common external traffic is remitted into the Federation account by the OAGF, while others that are active are remitted into non-Federation account. Over now to Kaduna State has recorded no fewer than 748 reported cases of emotional and psychological abuse and 349 cases of physical assault in 2023. The Commissioner of Human Service and Social Development, Rabi Salisu, said this at a second biannual shared learning event and dialogue session on public partnership and private sector engagement. Salisu, represented by Mariam Moazu, the Director Youth Development Department of the Ministry, said the data was a combination of males and females who were victims of the types of sexual and gender-based violence SGBV from January to December 2023 in the state. Senator representing Kano South, Suleiman Kawu, is questioning the premature removal of the substantive executive director of Midstream Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund, Masiru Kalia. According to Senator Kawu, the sacking of Kalia as executive director of the agency is unlawful, as he was not allowed to complete his 5-year term, which began in 2022. Kikelomo Okere has details.
It is the responsibility of the National Assembly to respect its own laws.
Senator Kawu's outburst was in response to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's letter asking the Senate to confirm Oluwole Adama as ED of Midstream Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund on Tuesday in the plenary.
Request for confirmation of appointment of Executive Director for the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA. In accordance with the provisions of Section 441, subsection 2 of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021, I am pleased to present for confirmation by the Senate the appointment of Oluwole Adama as the Executive Director, Midstream and Downstream Gas Infrastructure Fund in the Petroleum Regulatory Authority. While I hope that the Senate will consider and confirm the nominee in an expeditious manner, please accept, distinguished Senate Presidents and distinguished Senators, the assurances of my highest regards. This is signed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
He started in March 2022, and it is the Senate who confirmed him. And there are so many provisions in the Act that if for any reason he will be removed or replaced for any reason, there must be a process which the executive, although he has power to appoint, but there must be a procedure in line with our laws and constitution.
Akpabio also urged the committee to look into Senator Kawo's claims and make recommendation to the Senate for further legislative action.
So the two committees, Committee on Gas and Downstream, when you are deliberating, as you are reverting to us, please take cognizance of his point of order.
In a similar development, President Tinubu wants the Senate to also confirm the disengagement of Babatunde Irukera as the Executive Vice Chairman and the CEO of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC. His request is contained in the letter read by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, on Tuesday at the resumption of plenary after a 4-week Christmas and New Year break.
I hereby seek the kind confirmation of the Senate in respect of the disengagement from office of Babatunde Irukera as the Executive Vice Chairman, Chief Executive Officer of the FCCPC, with effect from Monday, the 8th day of January 2024.
President Tinubu had on January 8, 2024, sacked Babatunde Irukere as the CEO of FCCPC. Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kike, for that report. Over now to Governor Sheriff Oberi Wuri of Delta State has suspended the Commissioner for Agriculture and Natural Resources, Honorable Onem Perez, with immediate effect. He also ordered the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Bernard Agoma, Assistant Director, Agricultural Engineering, Engineer Oki Yatarike, and Chief Accountant, Gabriel Ediatokchoko, to embark on compulsory leave. The Delta State government said the action was to enable a 7-man committee set up by the governor and headed by the secretary to the state government, Dr. Kinsley Emu, to investigate the claims and perceived infractions related to the management of the scheme of the ministry. The police in Ekiti State says they have arrested 5 suspected kidnappers during a bush combing exercise on Tuesday. The operation was in response to 2 attacks by bandits in Ekiti on Monday, resulting in the death of 2 monarchs and the kidnapping of school children, a bus driver, and teachers. A statement by Police Public Relations Office for Ekiti State Police Command, Sunday Abatu, stated that 5 persons were arrested in the forest during a bush combing operation. Abutu said the suspects claimed to be herdsmen during interrogation, but it was later discovered that they were none of them. None of them had a cattle, and no cattle was found with them in the forest where they were arrested. The chairman of Police Service Commission, PSC, Dr. Solomon Arase, says Nigeria needs the right police officers with mental mobility and fertile minds to relate effectively with the public. This is contained in a statement made available to newsmen by the head of press and public relations of PSC, Ikechukwu Ani, on Tuesday in Abuja. According to Ani, Arase spoke when he paid a courtesy visit to the registrar of the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, Professor Isiaq Oloyede. Arase said the focus of discussion during the visit was on the progress of engaging JAM to conduct computer-based tests for applicants seeking employment in the constable cadre of the Nigerian police. Moving still on, the police command in Taraba has announced the arrest of suspected kidnapper Aliyu Muhammad in possession of 8.55 million naira and 7 mobile phones. Joseph Eribo, the commissioner of police in the state, who made this known on Wednesday in Jalingo, said that the suspect was arrested by mobile policemen at the joint checkpoint at Yagi on Jalingo Yola bypass. According to him, during interrogation, the suspect failed to give satisfactory account of himself. The search of his vehicle revealed the sum of 8,555,000 in cash, 7 mobile phones, 3,000 naira MTN recharge card, and 7 amulets. The Commissioner of Police also announced the arrest of 5 other suspected kidnappers by the command's anti-kidnapping unit and local vigilante members. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ola Olakayode, has revealed that the Anti-Graft Agency uncovered how a religious sect in Nigeria is laundering money for terrorists. This was as he also revealed that another religious body was found to be protecting a money launderer after some money suspected to have been laundered was tracked to the organization's bank account. The FCC boss made the revelation on Wednesday at the Musa Yaradua Center, Abuja, during a one-day dialogue on youth, religion, and the fight against corruption. He noted that religious organizations, institutions, sects, and bodies have been found culpable of money laundering. Still on the News Express, the Western Nigerian Security Network, Amatokonkwo in Ondo State, has arrested 31 suspects for various alleged crimes across the 18 local government areas of the state. Adetunji Adeleye, commander of the Amatokonkwo, made this known while parading the suspects on Wednesday in Akure. Adeleye said that the suspects were arrested for offenses including alleged kidnapping, illegal possession of firearms, and those that specialize in breaking of shops and houses. He also said the government was resolute in its determination to ensure that investors, farmers, residents, and commuters move about freely in the state without apprehension of attack by hoodlums. At least 12 loggers were killed in northeast Nigerian's Borno state near the border with Cameroon when their vehicle hit a landmine in an area where Boko Haram jihadists were active, 2 NGOs working in the region said Wednesday. The loggers were on their way to the bush to collect firewood when the flatbed vehicle conveying them rolled over a mine suspected to have been planted by Boko Haram jihadists on the highway outside Bulka village. The NGO said which happened on Monday, men suspected to be Boko Haram planted explosive and killed 12 people, while many were injured along Bulka to Goza route. The Supreme Court on Wednesday upheld the election of Governor Amadu Fintiri of Adamawa State. The Apex Court, in a unanimous decision by a 5-member panel, dismissed as lacking in merit an appeal the All Progressive Congress (APC) said its candidate, Senator Aisha Dahiru, popularly known as Binani, filed to challenge the outcome of the governorship election that was held in the state on March 18, 2023. They urged the Supreme Court to set aside the concurrent verdict of the Court of Appeal and the Adamawa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which dismissed their case and upheld Fintiri's re-election. Fintiri argued that he emerged victorious, having secured the majority of lawful votes and fulfilled all requirements of the law. Still on the news, human rights activist and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has sued the federal government through the Attorney General of the Federation, the Minister of Education, the Universal Basic Education Commission, BEC, and 36 states over the issue of out-of-school children in the country. Falana filed the suit alongside an early childhood education specialist, Hawa Mustafa, on behalf of the Alliance of Surviving COVID-19 and Beyond. Their suit is over their failure to access 68 billion naira Universal Basic Education Commission funds to provide free basic education for every Nigerian child of school age. The Attorney General of the 36 states of the Federation and Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, were also listed as respondents in the suit, which was filed through their lawyer, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Fumi Falana. You're watching News Express coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, teledensity drops as Nigerian active call and internet subscriptions grow. The news continues shortly with details and more stories right after this break. Do stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Express. Thank you for staying with us. And now over on our foreign decks, the World Health Organization said the rollover funding for the UN's Palestinian Refugee Agency was distracting from the humanitarian disaster in Gaza. It urged government to keep backing UNRWA, which has been several key donors, suspend funding over Israel's accusations that several staff were involved in the October 7th Hamas attack. WHO spokesman Kristen Landmeyer told a media briefing in Geneva, criminal activities can never go unpunished, but the discussion is a distraction for what's really going on every day, every hour and every minute in Gaza. Israel's bombardment and ground offensive in Gaza, now in their fourth month, have left much of the besieged Palestinian territory in ruins and many of its people on the verge of starving. Israel's army has begun flooding Hamas' network of tunnels as intense fighting rages in Gaza, with the UN warning of the potential collapse of the humanitarian system in the territory after funding row hit its Palestinian aid agency. The epicenter of the fight in recent weeks has been Khan Yunis, southern Gaza's main city, where vast areas have been reduced to a muddy wasteland of bombed-out buildings, and where an AFP journalist witnessed people leaving town on Tuesday as explosions sounded nearby. The Israeli military, which has stopped the vast network of tunnels, the Gaza Metro, said that it had begun flooding the underground complexes with water in a bid to neutralize the threat of Hamas' subterranean network. United Nations top court will hand down its verdict on Wednesday in a case brought by Ukraine against Russia for alleged terrorism, financing and racial discrimination after an annexation of Crimea in 2014. Kyiv has accused Moscow of being a terrorist state whose support for pro-Russian separatists in the eastern Ukraine was a hambringer of the full-fledged 2022 invasion. It wants Russia to compensate all civilians caught up in the conflict, as well as victims from Malaysia Airlines, which was shot down over eastern Ukraine. The case predicts Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, will decide on Friday whether it has jurisdiction to rule in a separate case over that war. China's global dominance in electric car helped it overtake Japan as the world's biggest vehicle exporter last year, official data confirmed Wednesday. Japanese giants such as Toyota and Nissan have been much more cautious than their Chinese counterparts like BYD on electric vehicles, EVs, banking instead on hybrid models. Figures released Wednesday by the Japan Automobile Manufacturers Association showed shipments of cars, trucks and buses raising 16% of 4.42 million last year. But China exported almost 500,000 more, 4.91 million vehicles in total, as reported by China Association of Automobile Manufacturers this month. Now let's turn to business. The Nigerian Communication Commission, NCC, says the country has witnessed a steady increase in active voice and internet subscriptions. NCC's Director of Public Affairs, Dr. Ruben Moka, disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday in Abuja. NTC also said that there was a drop in teledensity as contained in the latest telecommunications statistical indicators release, which has been adjusted to reflect the latest population growth figure in line with international best practices. The active voice subscription statistics witnessed marginal growth from 220,361.186 to 221,769,883 as of September 2023. In addition, internet subscriptions are also enjoying marginal growth from 159,034,717 in August 2023 to 160,171,757 in September 2023. China's global dominance in electric cars helped it overtake Japan as the world's biggest vehicle exporter last year, official data confirmed Wednesday. Japanese giants such as Toyota and Nissan have been much more cautious than their Japanese counterparts like BYD Electricity. Wednesday, moving on now, but China exported almost 500,000 more, as reported by China Association of Automobile Manufacturers this month. And that's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, on Star Times channel 276, kindly follow us across all social media platforms using at Global TV NG at the handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.